The month of July is over, and Fallout 4 modders created some absolute bangers in this month. From a bunch of weapon mods to entirely new locations, quests, and player homes, we have much to look at. So without further delay, let's get started. Let's start with a new player home called Charlie Station. It is an abandoned Enclave vertibird refueling station. You have to get the power back first and put in the code "Dear Old Friends, Remember Raven Rock" to access the elevator to the facility. The station is reminiscent of the Enclave and Brotherhood bunkers from Fallout 3 and New Vegas. This station also has a workbench with limited functionality, so you can customize this place however you want. There is also a weapon room, an armor room, as well as an intel room, a med bay, and lots more. The med bay even gives you information about the creation of super mutants and deathclaws. You can also use this terminal in your office to add event-specific or faction-specific decorations. All in all, it's a really good player home, and if you think it's too much of a hassle to get into this facility just to save, then you can use the tent outside this place. Next is Institute SMG Redux P90 Inspired. The name is quite self-explanatory. P90 is one of my favorite weapons in games, and this is no exception. The gun feels great to use but is a bit low on the damage. However, you can modify it and turn it into an absolute beast that melts anything in sight. Jurttu's interiors, Nuka-World adds 4 new interiors in Nuka-World. These interiors range from old tunnels to an abandoned police station, an old hideout, and a new vault. All of these locations have dimly lit or straight-up dark interiors, creating a horror aesthetic. Enemies mostly include ghouls and bugs. All of these locations have pretty decent loot too. Hopefully, Jurttu will make more interiors like this in the future. Definitely looking forward to it. Next are 2 armor mods. The first one is Tumbajamba's Sniper, Rifle, and Ghillie armor. This mod adds a few variations of Ghillie armor into the game. Different Ghillie armor are made up of different materials and also have slightly different designs. And it's not all cosmetic either, as crouching with Ghillie armor makes you invisible, which is really helpful for stealth players. The snipers are great too and match the corresponding armors perfectly. On the other hand, DBD The Deathslinger Outfit adds the said outfit from Dead by Daylight. This thing looks absolutely sick and kinda reminds me of the NCR Ranger armor. The design is not overly complicated and looks really great. However, and this is a very stupid thing to say, I know, but for some reason the armor makes me look fat. Next is the Sterling submachine gun. The model is mostly inspired by the TV show and it looks pretty decent. The weapon also has a huge array of modifications and attachments that can turn it into something else entirely. I definitely recommend it to anyone who likes old school weapons, and it is even lore friendly, so there's no reason not to download it. Next is a quest mod that initially surprised me by how good it was, but then the quality fell off so much that I didn't even finish it. The New Adventures of the Silver Shroud starts off really strong. Upon installing the mod, you get this radio frequency which starts the quest. You find this guy called Dexter who used to be a big fan of the Silver Shroud comics, and upon seeing your work as the Silver Shroud, he wants you to investigate some things to write new issues of the Silver Shroud comics based on your experiences. The dialogue was pretty good, and his friends were also pretty engaging to talk to. Upon investigating the place, you come across this ghoul, who claims that he and his brother has telepathic abilities and sends you to stop his brother. This starts off your encounter with William, where he tries to control your mind.
Cut. That was bullshit.
This leads to a series of very creative events which I don't want to spoil in case you like to play the mod. But after a certain point, a flashback sequence starts which just completely ruins the pacing of the quest. You literally have to spend minutes just waiting at the same place while you hear the conversations during the events that gave them his power. Look, I have played multiple walking simulators in my life. One of my favorite games, What Remains of Edith Finch, is a walking simulator. But this dialogue was not engaging, at least to me, and you literally don't even walk as everything is blocked off. Then you come to the ants part where I almost lost my mind. These small ants take 5, 6, or 7 shotgun shots to die, and there were like 50 of them. And after all that, they started talking again, and all paths were blocked off again. So in short, I don't recommend this mod, but I really wanted to like this mod. I still included it as some of you might not find those sequences that annoying. Next, I want to showcase all of Degenerate Dak's mods at once. This month, he recreated two of New Vegas's most fun weapons, namely the Riot Shotgun and the 12.7mm pistol. The Riot Shotgun is one of my favorite weapons in New Vegas, so it being recreated so beautifully definitely makes me happy. The 12.7mm pistol, on the other hand, is not my thing, but it still feels great to use. There is also this new carbine rifle, which is pretty decent, and the handmade pistol from the Metro series. All of these weapons also have multiple, unique variants with both unique looks and features. One of them is Creeping Death, which adds 25 points of bleed, and you all know how broken bleed in Fallout 4 is. Along with that, all of these weapons have heaps of customization options ranging from accessories to modifications. There's no reason not to download these mods really, as all of them are high quality, well made, and most of all, fun to use. Driveables of the Commonwealth adds 8 vehicles along with 2 experimental variations. To spawn a vehicle, you need to drop this new item from your inventory, and then select the car, and it will drop from the sky. There are many features you can access from the car, ranging from increased storage to looks menu if you have that mod installed. But how does the cars handle, I hear you ask? Well, I am not going to sugarcoat it, there are definitely some problems. A few examples include the slow speed even with boost, car getting stuck on geometry, and cars just flying off if you press the jump button. One of the reasons for this slow driving might be because this mod uses a file as its base that's made for a truck, but I could be wrong. As for the other issues, I don't have any idea. I still like to appreciate the dev for what he has done, I just hope the cars become a bit better to drive. Next is another player home mod called Forgotten Pump House. The interior of this player home is pretty sci-fi looking and kinda reminds me of old school sci-fi movies like Star Wars and Aliens for some reason. I like how you can control how much furniture you want in the rooms, as all of that can be controlled using switches in the wall. Now, one of the negatives of this player home is that there are no weapon or armor benches, but on the plus side, you can take a bath. All in all, if you want a cozy player home near the coast, then this should be on your radar. Next is the all-American weapon pack that adds beloved weapons into New Vegas such as the Thompson, the M1911, the Owen submachine gun, and the M1 Garand. All of these weapons have beautiful animations and sounds, and the Thompson even has 2 unique variants, one of which might be left off by Yusuf Amir from GTA 4, and the other one looks like it's straight out of Apex Legends. If you like old school weapons, this is a no-brainer. Display Marker Mod lets you place anything anywhere using these new workshop items. This allows you to make even more creative builds, or in my case, more abysmal builds. So now if you want to hang Deathclaw meat on your wall, then you can do so. Slow motion dismemberment adds a cinematic slow motion effect upon enemy limb dismemberment. This effect looks pretty cool, at least to me. And if you don't like something about the mod, then you can just change it in the MCM menu. However, one problem I saw is even on 100% chance, the slow-mo effect just doesn't activate sometimes. As you can see in this frame, the enemy leg detached from his body, but there was no slow-mo. To be honest, I don't mind a bit of randomness. It kind of reminds me of the cinematic shots from Red Dead Redemption 2. And now for the big one.
The big one.
The big one. The big one! What is the big one?
Well, we all knew Fallout London would be the big one. However, I haven't played it. I'm just at the prologue part right now. However, the general reviews seem to be fine enough for me to add it in my list. Of course, I will make a separate video giving you my thoughts on this mod once I finish it, but I'm going to take my time with it. You are talking to a guy whose first Fallout 4 playthrough was 170 hours long. So yeah, I included it because if I haven't, then people would have beaten me in the streets, but you will get a review video in the near future. And with that, I end this video. Hopefully you found a few mods to add to your load order. And if you are playing Fallout London, give me a spoiler-free review in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.